floor is finally done. The scabby carpet is finally removed, that pleases me. That pleases me because that really bothered me. It was dirty. Oop, it was nearly fell over then. Yes. So we've seen enough of the carpet. So let's have a little wander around in the same way that we wandered around the first time, so you can see everything as it's changed. So that's not changed. We've still got the pencil cases, but we've removed the bureau. We've added more books. We're going to get more notebooks coming in. We've made an order and there will be some more to come in, but I'm quite happy with those. And these are quite popular, these little wooden notebooks. Would you like to come a bit closer, Roberto, so people can actually see what they are? So you can see they've all got lovely sentiments on. And these proved, when we went to the trade fair, we ended up getting a small order of these and they proved really popular. So we ordered the whole shaboogle. And moving on, yeah, you can see all the notebooks. So we've still got some of the same notebooks. These proved to be rather popular, didn't they? But then moving on, we decided to get some literature, didn't we? Some reading material. So we've got The Little Book of. So we've got, what's this one? Little Book of Ikigai. Ikigai. Little Book of Spiritual Healing, Moon Magic, A Little Book of Magic, Little Book of Fairies, and A Little Book of Folklore. And then we've got some more little bits and bobs. We've got a mushroom book, some feral self-care, a little book of cottagecore, and some moon apothecary. We've also got some lovely journals. I might get some more of these, Roberto. So we didn't order many because you never know what they like, but these are really nice journals. Not the cheapest journals. Look, how lovely. Very nice. We've also got these, which are slightly cheaper. So journals again. But yeah, it's just a slightly cheaper one, that one is. Still nice though. I'd like to get that, wouldn't you, Roberto?
Yeah, I think
give me some focus. And then look at these. These are amazing. We've only got two because the other two that we ordered didn't come. So we've got a few more colouring books. Look at those. They are so gorgeous. Again, they are not the cheapest. These are £17.50. But they are beautiful. So nice. So nice. And then show me your table, love. Because Mr. Man's been busy creating a lovely little cat with some bottle kilns, of course. We are in Stoke-on-Trent after all. And then this bit hasn't really changed much. So we've still got the drinks cabinet, we've still got teas, still got pops, we've got some hip flasks. Not many, because again, the order was made, but only half of them came with the second order. They didn't even come with the first order. We've moved the candles to here, and we've extended our range of burners. So although we've still got Deb's Pottery Shack's handmade burners, we've also indulged with some of those from Fair. I think it was from Something Different. Excuse me. So we've got a range of those. We've got knickknacks on our shelves. And then, show them this, show them this. So when you come in now, instead of just walking into, can you remember the round cable reel? Well now, wax melts, love, wax melts. What kind of cameraman is he? So clearly this needs to be the pricing. Roberto decided to just doodle some flowers, but that's got to have the pricing on it. These box sets are still with us, so these have been quite popular. So they're still with us, but we are changing them. We've got A5 cards instead of A6, so we're going to use up the A6 first, then replace them with A5, because they seem a bit more substantial, don't they? And we've got them printed out, not at us. We haven't printed them. We've got a printer to print them, and so they're much better quality. So they'll come out when these are gone. These boxes, these are the last of these boxes. So once these have gone, we're having the same boxes, but we're going to just make it kind of generic. So a gift for you maybe will be the title, so people can buy them for any occasion rather than having to pick one for wedding day, one for anniversary. They can have it for any occasion whatsoever. And then of course we've got all our Christmas melts out, which you've got to make some more of, haven't you? So you can see we've got a whole array of melts now, which is just marvellous. I just love it. You've got all those. Same the other side, we've got 24 fragrances here. We've got what's left of pumpkin spice there, that's it. And once they are gone, they are gone. Autumn's Embrace, which was last month's scent of the month, will be going there. This is our welcome to the cottage sample box, which will eventually go, because this was only meant for this year, 2025. 2026 will be a different offer, yes? Let's come back down here so we can see our signature scents, our Halloween scents that came out. They're still there, ready to go. And then, now, we've combined our cable reels, and instead of having a wax tree, we've now got a gift tree. So show them some of those, Roberto. So we've got some lovely different gift items there. And we plan on sort of shrinking our offering of gifts so to this tree. So we'll just have the gifts here. There's a few spattered around the shop, but you got Floki there, or a little spaniel anyway, not actually Floki. Just watch your hands on those little frogs. You nearly knocked that frog off. So yeah, so we've got an array. So we've got things from Joe Davies here. We've got a bit Quackers. I've got a feeling that we'll be shopping again with a bit Quackers because I really like their items. I like the metallic look that it's got. I'm not always fond of lots of colour. I do really like them. I love those little dragons. We've got one in the window and one on show here. And those moon-gazing hairs are gorgeous. And then, moving over. So moving over there, we come into the Christmas zone. So we're moving into handmade cards because I love using my Lavinia stamps. And we've got a surprise for you when we get around the other side. So we've got all our Christmas things here. We've got English soaps and hand creams. Just some little knick-knacky Christmas things, a bit more artwork. And then moving over, we've added to our... There's no point in me talking about oracle cards while you're still looking at Christmas, is there? I'll be patient and wait.
She has no patience, so don't be fooled.
I have a little bit of patience. Just a little bit. I've been working on it. Anyway, we've got some more oracle cards down there. We've still got Sarah's handmade mushrooms. That's Sarah Hallam Ceramics, if you didn't know. And we've got more artwork on the walls because the walls were a little bit bare. And then moving over, we've still got all of our friends chic here. Am I racing ahead again?
Little Alric.
Little Elric, yeah. He was in the window and now we've moved him. We've changed the window slightly, so we've moved him into the shop. We need a price on him too, love. And then we've still got all of our friends chic. That hasn't changed really. We've just added a few fairy doors and bits and bobs around it, but the friend chic is still there. And then moving over, we've moved the till. Yes, have a look at the friend chic. So the till's now there. Instead, it was over here, over there. But now, we have bought Lavinia stamps into the shop. So we've only got a little display at the minute, haven't we? I mean, I could spend thousands and thousands I could spend in that shop. But what we've done is we've decided to get just a small collection to see whether the people of Longton want to start crafting. Yes? Yes. I'm talking to you and the crowd, of course. The crowd.
The crowd.
The crowd.
Talking to the crowd.
So Lavinia are my favourite stamps. We have actually got a few other stamps here, haven't we? Because Rachel, our lovely neighbour from Kiln at number 12, in a previous life, created polymer stamps. So she'd got a load of stamps and she said, here you go, you can have these stamps if you want. So we've got some other stamps, but predominantly we are Lavinia. I just love Lavinia stamps. I love what you can do with them, whether it's artwork or whether it's just simple stamped cards. I just love it. So what I did is I bought a collection of stamps, mostly stamps I've got, some I hadn't got, and we're going to keep adding to it. We went to a company called Personal Impressions, didn't we, for the Versafine Claire, because I love stamping with that. Of course, we had some of the... Oh, and look who's saying hello.
Hello, Floki Joe.
Say hi, Floki. He's like, who? Who's in the shop? There's nobody in
nobody's
here.
In the shop.
You've got to say hi to the camera. Hi. You gorgeous boy. So yeah, we've got the Element inks, got a few brushes. They didn't have any number 7, so we've only got number 9s and number 3s. And some acrylic boards to stamp with. And hopefully, if you show them this table, what we've got a table upstairs, so we decided to bring it down. That's what I need, Roberto. I just need some plastic covering, because we don't want this to get all stamped on, do we? So we need some plastic covering for this, and we said we could get some stools, maybe 4 stools. And what we thought we'd do is we'd have a go table. So if somebody comes in and they haven't got a clue what stamping is, they could take a board, take one of the simple stamps, and have a go at stamping. So we're going to put some paper out. We've got one of the Versafine Claire's out, and they can just have a little go to see if it's something that they would enjoy doing. And if it is, then obviously they might then be interested in purchasing some other materials to take home to make their own cards. So I think that's going to be our thing, isn't it, Roberto?
I think it
Promoting creativity, because at the end of the day, creativity is the place where you lose yourself and also find yourself. So we're thinking, yes, Floki, yes. We're thinking that's what we're going to do, aren't we? Where's he gone? Hey, noisy boy. You just want to be heard, don't you? We hear you. We hear you. I think my dear husband has just arrived at the shop, walking the dog in. So you've seen the shop tour. And actually, although you're only seeing this today, we've now been open for 3 weeks since the shop reopened. And I have to say that some things have changed already. It's what it is, isn't it? So I'm really happy with the layout of the shop, and I'm really happy with the direction. So, you know, promoting creativity. So getting the Lavinia stamps in, I think, was a really good idea. 1 or 2 people are starting to engage with those. We've done a live using them, and we are thinking of offering workshops using them because people are asking. So we did a bit of a disappointing live on Facebook where the first 2 weeks after we opened the shop, we got that many requests for workshops, and it was kind of, I'm not quite sure if people know what kind of workshops they want. They just want something. So we've obviously got the Frenchic, which people offer workshops using that. We've got the Lavinia stamps, and I know that Lavinia do workshops using that and making craft items using stamps. We've got other things that we do, like Rob uses Frenchic paint to, you know, paint items, decoupage them. In the past, I've been known to paint furniture and stencil them, that kind of thing. But I don't think people know what they actually want. They don't come in and say, I would really like a Frenchic painting class, or I want a stamping class. They just ask, are you going to offer like workshops? So we did a live where we'd thought about what kind of workshops we could offer, what was sort of valid because of space, because of how many resources we've got, that kind of thing. And we figured that stamping would be the best way to go, but offering it as a journal club, because journaling is something I do, it's something I talk about sometimes, and it also means that we haven't got to get a ton of resources, that people can use whatever resources they choose. So we offered this on the live. We said, what do you think, that kind of thing. Now, we had 800 and something views on that live, and 2 people commented. One put 2 comments, one that she'd like to bring her granddaughter and that she would be interested, and another one said, I'd be interested in this. And it's kind of frustrating because I only want to offer what people want. I don't want to do it just for the sake of it. So we're still in limbo, but what we've decided to do is we've decided to have a go at changing upstairs. So Rob is not happy with the wax room. He doesn't feel like he can record in there because it's quite dismal in there. It's too full of stuff. So we moved our studio into that room. We put a craft table up, and we've ended up sort of finding our roles within the shop, which is basically the roles we had prior to having the shop, but prior to that too. So before Wickwood Cottage, I was Jackie Walker Art, and he was starting a candle company. He gave himself a couple of names, and it was only together that we come up with Wickwood Cottage and we came up with the brand. And whilst we've been in the shop, it's kind of, we've had to find the roles that suit us. Now, for me, sitting here stamping suits me. I can get up to the till. And also, I've always wanted to work on watercolours because although I've used acrylic paints and I enjoyed that, I found myself wanting to use watercolours more so, and I really do enjoy creating whimsical art, but I'm no expert. I need to work on that. I can hear the dog running downstairs now. Put the door shut. So I seem to be sitting here going back to the art roots. Rob is the person who's going upstairs and creating the wax melts. So the wax melt room really is his room, so he needs to get it how he wants it, how he feels comfy. And we've decided to move it, or have a go at moving it into the kitchen and actually painting upstairs, because we didn't do that when we moved into the shop. It had already got a coat of paint, and we thought it's good enough for us. So one tiny room, which is directly above my head, which in the past I think was a toilet, it's got a sink in there. No toilet, it's just a storeroom, and it hasn't even had its floors painted yet. Whereas the other toilet had its floor painting but is a mess. So, you know, where we can sort of put up with that, if we were to have workshops and offer them upstairs, we'd want the upstairs to look as nice as the downstairs. So that is what we're working on now, or what Rob is working on. I'm manning the shop. I'm just starting an Etsy shop. That's more complicated than I thought. And Rob is doing the transformation upstairs. And it will be a slow process, but it will get done, and it will be for next year. We're not rushing into this. We're not even convinced that the workshops will happen upstairs, if they happen at all. They will. We're going to see how much room there is, see what room he needs for the melts, and then work on the middle room afterwards, once it's empty, once we don't need anything in there, and then decide. We might even move our drink making facilities in there. That way, if we did hold workshops, there's drinks facilities in there for other people to make. So that's where we are at the moment. Please like, comment if you've got any comments, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. We are loving this journey, and you can help us grow it bigger. So we'll see you next time on the next one.